On this episode of Inside the Blueprint, we're hitting the road in search of the most innovative influencers, the most daring in design, and the coolest in commercial construction. In the market for an interactive blueprint system for your facilities, SmartPrint by FacilityONE might just be the solution you're looking for. In the world of high-pressure hydraulics tools and controlled force products, one name stands out. EnterPak is all about innovation in this highly specialized category. Think fire and security doors can't be at the forefront of innovation and design? Think again. McKEON, a leading manufacturer of fire containment products, have solutions to accommodate almost any space. Concerned about developing a product or software that's susceptible to hacking? The techies at Microchip technology are all about solutions. Managing a facility today is not easy, especially when it comes to emergency response and risk management. It requires a full understanding of all assets and systems available at all times.
It really comes down to understanding where your assets are when an emergency or an event happens. For example, if you have a flood and the basement is literally filling up and that's where all of the electrical panels are, you need to know not only do you have an electrical panel, but where is it located and what is it feeding?
Going back 20 plus years, it used to be paper blueprints were the only documentation of assets and connectivity at facilities. Processes were very manual and relied heavily on memory, with work orders managed by paper. But FacilityONE Technologies changed all that.
For us, the uniqueness is that we have this visual blueprint, that we take all of the assets, we map them, and we put your facilities at your fingertips. So as you're walking around your property, there's no guessing. You take all the guesswork out of what your property has and the needs it has for maintenance, and you put them at your fingertips.
Starting in 1999 from a paper-based product designed to manage electrical assets, FacilityONE Technologies today has evolved into a full asset management and blueprint operations solution provider in Louisville, Kentucky, and an industry-recognized enterprise operation system with computerized maintenance management and data analytics platforms.
We provide our customers with real-time usable data. There's a lot of systems out there that collect data, but it goes into like this big bucket. So what we do is with our interactive blueprint technology, we present it in a fashion that's very easy to use. And then on the analytics side, we present it so that people looking at the data can clearly understand the results of the data and what it means to them as a business.
And it's not just about correcting problems, it's about preventing problems, analyzing risks, and informed decision-making in facility operations. That's why FacilityONE offers a comprehensive service model with free implementation, personalized software management training, and access to subject matter experts that can help customers prepare for the unexpected.
If you can prevent a life safety piece of equipment from failing, you reduce the risk across your entire organization.
Without preventative maintenance, you have no control of your properties. When you have a good preventative maintenance system, you can control cost, you can forecast better and predict where you need to put resources, and then you can potentially mitigate some of the risk and liability of an emergency situation. That 2 a.m. phone call is going to happen, but when it does, when you have a good system and a good partner, you're prepared for it.
With FacilityONE's Blueprint Operations Management software, techs now have the tool to do their job more efficiently, and executives have their eyes directly into their assets. It's why today, FacilityONE is a leading enterprise operations solution that continues to innovate its product to keep up with the ever-changing facility software landscape.
Today we're over 100 million square feet in assets managed, and the big part of it for us is that we go in and we do the heavy lifting. So when you become a client of FacilityONE, we walk in the doors and we map everything, all of the equipment, all of the assets, all of the systems, mechanical, electrical, connectivity, and then we put that into the digital system that we then turn on and train you with, and that's the way that we're able to give you the facilities at your fingertips.
FacilityONE also realized there was a genuine need for data in the facility management world to increase efficiencies when identifying risks and planning capital improvement projects. They were inspired to revolutionize their operations further by partnering with clients and their operations. The result, delivery of their analytics platform called SmartPrint Alpha.
So SmartPrint Alpha is really where the excitement starts, because it's not enough to just have the access to the information, but you have to be able to give intel.
The old format is you print a list of work orders and you really have to decipher the information for yourself. What SmartPrint Alpha does is it takes that same data but then does the analytics for you and present it as a usable format to the customer.
The impact of FacilityONE's management software is now making a big difference in how facilities across the country are handling their assets, risks, and key performance indicators. From multi-million square foot facilities to real estate developments, hospitals, and office buildings.
Your facility is in your hands, so anytime you lose power or anything like that, you still have all your blueprints, all your assets, all the accessibility, on your laptop, desktop, phone. So it's all there.
There's always going to be emergencies, and our hope is that we can help our operations managers and facility managers sleep easy knowing that their assets are protected, and we're there to help them through those times.
At FacilityONE, we want to take the tools at our disposal, the software, the people, our design, our experience, and revolutionize operations.
It's all about innovative software solutions from tomorrow's facility management. To learn more about FacilityONE Technologies and its Blueprint Operations Management software, go to its website, FacilityONE.com.
I'm Jeff Schmaling. I'm president of EnterPak. EnterPak is a global leader in the design and manufacture of industrial tools. Our core competency is really around high-force hydraulics. What that means in practical terms is that we make tools that lift, that cut, that push, that pull, that torque bolts. Yeah, we get involved in a lot of different industries around the world. We started just after the turn of the century in 1910, roughly. In terms of our hydraulic expertise, we really got our start, if you will, in the late 20s, 1927, when we acquired a hydraulic tool company. And that really launched us into really what has become the cornerstone of EnterPak, which is our expertise around high-force hydraulics. We have a lot of expertise over erecting a large structure like you're going to see in Texas.
I'm Pat Doherty. I work for WW Steel Erectors here at the Texas Rangers Globe Life Field. I am project manager for the erector team. You're looking at what we call the bowl, where we perform our ground assembly operations for the roof structure. The challenges we face here for WW Steel Erectors specifically is the critical lift planning for our heavy lift truss assemblies. We average between 900,000 and 1.5 million pound weights that we make sure we plan effectively and safely to perform each lift. The engineering company, in conjunction with the contractor working on the stadium, came to us with a challenge of how can we position these trusses accurately, from the ground, from a wireless control.
I'm Jim Ronning, president and founder of Lucid Engineers. We had worked on the sling adjusters to develop the lift rigging plans. Well, the challenges are there's large ground assemblies inside the stadium. There's multiple cranes. They're very heavy lifts, 1.5 million pound lifts, and it requires careful coordination by all parties involved, all contractors, even a lot of subcontractors. And it requires equipment that's dependable.
The most complex truss job I've ever been a part of.
We became an interface between EnterPak and the contractor. They brought us in just as an early advisor to set up the rigging systems and specify what they needed for lift rigging, and that included the sling adjusters that are manufactured by EnterPak.
My company, we fabricate each piece of steel you see on the ground, then we ship all the separate pieces to site here, and then we use the big crane you see behind me to lift each truss segment.
The challenges of the Rangers Stadium were really the heavy lift nature of assembling the truss sections.
Each truss segment varies between 900,000 to 1.5 million pounds.
The requirement to have fine control over the positioning of them as they were joined together, which is not easily achieved by just using a mobile crane from the ground.
A failure in the system of any component would be a catastrophe.
We really pride ourselves on our ability to look at an application and work with that customer to help them get exactly what they need out of that tool for that particular job.
The EnterPak Sync Hoist, a brand new system. It's a wireless communication system. That allows us to, as we're erecting the piece, say 200 feet in the air, we can still control the alignment of the piece from the ground using EnterPak's system.
The remote control gives you the ability to have the controls in the hand. It really worked well to have that remote control function.
When it comes to manufacturing products, you know, we have a pretty rigorous line testing. We also do a lot of validation testing, especially when we're talking about new product development. You don't know the weak points of a design until you actually expose them through some pretty rigorous testing.
Enerpac is the only hydraulic company that I go to when I'm looking for hydraulic jacks, jacking equipment, sling adjusters. They have answers immediately.
The future of Enerpac is really exciting for us. Most importantly, we want to expand into new industries. As we think about what the industrial tools look like in the next 10 years, so we're all about growth and innovation. We're excited to solve new challenges.
We're in Bellport, New York, visiting the headquarters of McKEON, a leading manufacturer of fire doors, fire shutters, fire curtains, smoke curtains, and custom-engineered wide-span opening protectives.
It's been our ability to develop new ideas and concepts into innovative product solutions that's made McKEON a trusted leader in the fire protective industry.
Joseph McKEON has been the president and the owner of the company since the 80s.
My family started the business back in 1946. It was founded by my father and my grandfather together. The products we've developed and brought to market over the decades have changed the industry. One major example is in the 90s, we developed the first truly automatic resetting fire door system.
The building code requires building owners to run annual tests on their fire doors.
Prior to the automatic resetting fire door, it was a conventional closing system, which meant shutting down that facility for a full day to drop test the assembly and reset it.
But McKEON's innovation allowed owners to save time when running these tests.
You do it with a button now, so it's within 2 minutes you can test that same assembly.
It allowed the industry to see a new sunrise. Very simply and easily, they can reset the door assemblies and put them back in place.
Our next major breakthrough was our patented deployable fire door system, which closed automatically in the event of a fire, but offered conventional swinging doors through the assembly that allowed for code-complying egress.
Historically, the fire doors, they did not have any method of egress through, and the designer were forced to create another opening next to the fire door that will have an egress door so people can get out of the room. McKEON was the first company to develop a fire door with an egress door as an integral part of it.
It allowed them to use wide-span opening protectives to separate the structure, but only in case of fire. Otherwise, people are not aware that these products are even in the building.
McKEON emphasis on special-purpose wide-span fire door systems has provided architects and design professionals with numerous options not previously available.
The way architects and end users they want to feel the big open spaces in the building. So we design wide span opening protectives. In an emergency, we'll be able to close off those different compartments in the building, prevent migration of fire and smoke from one side to the other, and if need be, allow occupants to escape out of one area into a safe area on the other side of the building.
We allow architects and design teams to think beyond the norm. If they can think of it, we'll design it and build it.
We're now in Midtown Manhattan, visiting the Museum of Modern Art, where McKEON systems have been installed to protect the brand new extension of the museum.
It was quite challenging because we want to keep the space open, the flow open between the existing museum and the expansion. So we determined the right products for the application, which has the fire, smoke, and egress component.
McKEON's versatility was key in the success of MoMA's project.
If you have a project and that project requires a specific opening, all of our products are custom designed to that specific application.
Normally our roll-up door will go up and down, and this is what most of our competitors do. But major advances were made that helps us to develop doors that moves in other directions, such as sideways or horizontally.
These advances were implemented in the Equinox Hudson Yards project in Manhattan.
For the Equinox project, we had one shutter system that needed to be 80 feet long, L-shaped with a curve into it, that needs to close on its own without power or battery backup in case of an emergency.
The Hudson Yards project is the largest private development in the United States, which makes the job very challenging.
It is quite challenging to work in Manhattan. We do custom systems that many times will require rigging in order to bring them into the building. Because some components, because they are fire rated, we cannot slice them in half and splice them on site.
Because our products are so big, so massive, we're one of the first to go into a building. So once that structure is up, before the walls start closing in, our products have to go in.
McKEON's spirit of innovation has made the company a trusted resource in the fire protection industry.
We're going to provide solutions to the architectural community. And they have an issue on how to make a certain opening comply with the building code. Our engineers will help them design the product into their building.
We help them understand what their building code requirements are. Then we offer them solutions so that they can fulfill the requirements, but at the same time have open, spacious design.
Other competitors or other companies will have more of a cookie cutter design doors. But here we value ourselves as engineering a company. We're not just a roll-up door company. We provide custom engineering solution.
But at the end of the day, McKEON understands the most important job they have is saving lives.
Our goal is to always be sure that building occupants are safe while in the structure and that they can safely exit the structure to the outside of the building during any kind of fire emergency.
Because we only get one shot at it. If there's a fire in the building, we have to shut down and protect the occupants and property in that building. It's something that we don't take very lightly.
For more information, visit McKeonDoor.com or InsideTheBlueprint.com. With the proliferation of Internet of Things, the threat of hacks or attacks is higher than ever. On this episode of Inside the Blueprint, we'll visit a company that creates devices to solve this problem. They're dedicated to helping device manufacturers create smart, connected, and secure products for consumers.
Microchip was born out of explosion. We came from a company called General Instrument, and I started shortly after it became Microchip. And we learned that we didn't want to be what we were, so we changed it. The leadership here comes from large companies that didn't like being what we were. We wanted to go off and create something that was unique and different and values-driven, and we did. In the last 30 years, we've changed radically. From those simple days where non-volatile memory was our base, to now we build microcontrollers, where a little bit of intelligence spread around the world. From simple remote controls to, in many cases, we've got 1,000 of our products in Airbus airplanes doing marvelous things today.
Microchip was creating IoT devices before the buzzword existed. They created devices, semiconductors, or computer chips that are embedded in consumer products. They use hardware and software to handle specific functions in an application. They design and develop unique chips that store secret certificates and keys to authenticate communication to protect those devices from being hacked.
Microchip secure products basically allow you to add security to your design, to your product, in a very easy way. It's very non-intrusive in your design, so you can essentially have your design almost complete and add security quite late in your process, without having to react to everything.
So the stuff we make is all different shapes, sizes, and forms of distributed intelligence, little bits of tiny brain everywhere, because that's what we do. To your cell phone, to your thermostat, everything now is a little bit of brain stuffed all over the house, hopefully talking to another well. That distributed intelligence, that little bit of tiny brain, is staggering everywhere. That opens up the door wide open to massive amount of risk, because everything is easily addressable and easily accessible, which makes it all prone to someone else doing bad things with it. Our job is to figure out how to make that as difficult as possible. We want the good guys to be protected and the bad guys to go where it's easier to do bad things, which means not in our space.
Basically, we need to have solutions that protect or secure devices regardless of the type of attacks that would be mounted against the devices of our clients. And basically, we need to develop products that can protect against all of those attacks.
Microchip technology is unique in its ability to help designers navigate the challenging issues of embedded IoT design.
What we do at Microchip is semiconductors, or the building blocks, that will help you to protect from a hardware perspective security breaches in the industry. We provide the secure, the smart, and the connected, but we also provide the tools that are required for a design engineer to be able to develop his solutions. A semiconductor can take on many different functions. They're going to be used to give commands that may cause a refrigerator to cool. They may give commands for your car to move forward. So they're the brains of the system.
In the future, obviously, Microchip is focused on bringing that security technology that we have into other markets like automotive, to be able to secure the car network, so the network that is in every car out there. So naturally, moving forward, one of the focus for our products is to bring security and safety together.
According to Gartner's 2017 industry report, Microchip is the leader in 8-bit microcontroller market share and number 3 in overall worldwide microcontroller market share.
Microchip is involved in many different industries: consumer, automotive, industrial, aerospace, defense. But there is a common thread that pulls throughout this, is that our needs for security keeps increasing. If we look at the consumer in the home, devices, we need to make sure that they don't get hacked for the people that are living there. In the automobile, we need to make sure that, again, that an intruder can't get into the network of the car and cause it to do something that isn't safe.
Thanks for watching this episode of Inside the Blueprint. For more information on anything you saw today, or to find out how you can become part of the show, go to InsideTheBlueprint.com.